They come up after 3:30. What else is out?
So Wild Bill, which is the directorial debut by Dexter Fletcher, who I think is probably known to many people, not only from his television, but obviously from working with Guy Ritchie, but is known primarily to me from his starring role a long time ago, in The Mad Monkey, that Fernando Trueba movie, which I love, and it's for ages and ages one of my great cult favourites, a really strange, twisted, dark take on Peter Pan. And of course Fernando Trueba recently did Chico and Rita, which I think is wonderful, and actually should have won the Oscar for Best Animation. So the story is, there are two kids living alone in a flat flying under the radar of social services. Their father, Wild Bill, comes out of incarceration and comes back, obviously having no desire to pick up the fatherly mantle. Just simply wants to get on. He's played by Charlie Creed-Miles. He was formerly Wild Bill, is now sort of referred to rather mockingly as Mild Bill. They don't want him to be there because he's never been much of a father to them. But they discover that actually, in order for things to work out for him, he, against his better judgment, has to spend some time with them because the social services are saying, look, these kids are here, they're your responsibility. The question is, will he discover any form of responsibility, or will he literally just be the useless lunk that he always was in the past? Here's a quick clip.
Hello again. Bill, innit? Do you remember me from the other night, Roxy?
Yeah.
How was your welcome home present?
Oh, sorry, I didn't recognise it. Yeah, did we, you know?
Don't you remember? 5 times at least. You were like a barn door in Hurricane.
Yeah?
No, I'm only joking. You didn't have a pulse most of the evening.
Sorry.
It's all right. Keep it on slate if you like.
Yeah? Are you on the game then?
Blimey, you know all lines, don't you?
Now, I should say, one of the problems with Wild Bill is that it does have kind of tart with the heart cliches, which are a problem, and with which I can live without, and of which that clip is a perfect example. Although actually that clip is not, I think, indicative of the rest of the film. The rest of the film is actually pretty rewarding. Firstly, it has a very good central performance by Charlie Creed-Miles and Will Poulter, who, of course, we saw first in Son of Rambo, who I said this when I saw Son of Rambo, that kid is really good and that kid is going to be a star. And he's obviously no longer a kid, has now, moved up into, teenager and more adult roles, and is really, really good and really someone to watch. The best thing about this is that despite those kind of tart with the heart cliches, which, as I said, I can definitely live without, it's not in any way a geezery film, which I think some people would have expected. Oh yeah, Dexter Fletcher, there's a connection with Guy Ritchie, it's a story of blokes and it's a male bonding story and it's going to be terribly geezery, and it really isn't. It's actually very sweet-natured. It has got at the centre of it this sense of a father attempting to discover whether or not he can be a father to his kids, whether his kids want to be a father, whether or not the kids need a father. There is something about it which sort of edges towards the construction of a family. It is a movie, the script of which does smack of authenticity when it needs to, even despite some of those cliches. And most impressively, I think actually from a directing point of view, it's very confidently handled. It's certainly not perfect, and it's certainly not without flaws, but at its heart, there is enough charm, enough genuine sense of characters discovering each other. And as I said, 2 very, very fine performances, particularly from the young lead there, that really move the thing along. And I came out of it with a smile on my face, and I was kind of relieved because, funnily enough, I had that classic thing. I had bumped into Dexter Fletcher in the street, who I've always been a fan of. And he said, I've directed this movie, it's called Wild Bill. And you get that thing that your heart sinks because your worry is always that someone's going to, somebody you like is going to make a film and you're not going to be impressed by it, and you can't do anything other than be honest about it. The fact of the matter is, he's done a very good job behind the camera, and despite those the cliches that are in there, they are definitely subservient to the body of the narrative, which is much more humanist, which is much more engaging, and actually I think had the right kind of heart. And I came out of it being generally won over and thinking, well, that's a really good